Hi guys, Nathan Middle Down Under here. Time for part 3 of my trip update. This is going to be all about the OG second-hand presses I picked up from Sweden and the UK. I didn't pick up anything while I was in Ireland, New York, apart from the Wicked vinyl, which I showed in the previous update, or in Canada. But yeah, some great shops I found in the UK and in Sweden. I've got maybe about 10 records here. I also picked up a few extras, but they've been sent out to other people. So yeah, let's get on with it. First one I found in Stockholm, Sweden, in a second-hand shop. I can't remember the name of it, but there was actually quite a few second-hand shops I went into, not necessarily on purpose. We were just out walking about, my wife and I, and just stumbled across a few, and of course I had to go in. And yeah, first one I picked up was Metal Mickey's favourite band, Ratt, an OG press of Reach for the Sky, one of the only albums I still wanted from Ratt. I'm still missing Detonator on a vinyl, but yeah, very happy to have Reach the Sky. I have it twice on CD, I believe. Yeah, I do. One in a box set on CD, and just a standard CD standalone. But pick up the vinyl, really awesome. Don't find this in New Zealand at all. I got it for a really good price, much cheaper than what it goes for on Discogs. It's not an overly priced album anyway, but yeah, very happy to have Ratt. Sorry about the glare. Album from 1988 on Atlantic. The back there, and then we have the band shot there. Definitely not my favourite album from the band. That would be Invasion of Your Privacy, the first album I ever heard from them. But yeah, still a really good, solid album from Ratt. Took me a little while to get into Stephen Percy's vocal style. But when I did, they really clicked with me. So very happy to have Ratt and Reach for the Sky on vinyl. Next one, so happy to have found this. I couldn't grab it fast enough when I saw it in the shop, for a really good price too. And that is Dark Angel and Time Does Not Heal, my favourite album from the band, featuring Jim Hoglund, of course, on drums. Love that cover art there. I'll take it out so you can see it a little bit better. There we go there, and top condition. All these records are in a VG Plus condition, a little bit dirty and dusty, but after a good clean, they'll come up really nicely. There's the back. Of course, you have Gene Hoglund there. Been many bands over the years. And on the inside, gatefold. Not sure if they all came in gatefold, but there's a band shot there. Came out under one flag in originally, not sure what year exactly came out, but early 90s, I presume. But yeah, fantastic album from the lads. This was a double vinyl set, just on your standard black wax. Once it has a real good clean, it'll be a really good, clean, playable copy. So yeah, I'm very happy to found that. There's no chance of finding this in New Zealand, and if it ever did pop up, it cost a lot more than what I paid for it, even taking the exchange rate in to account. So yep, a great thrash metal classic from Dark Angel. Then I picked up a couple of AOR hard rock albums. Back in the day, I would have classed both these bands as heavy metal, as we did. Now this is the band that I was not aware of until I joined the VC. I'm sure they are a Canadian band, and that is the band Headpins. Line of Fire, female fronted band, as you can tell from the picture. A really good melodic AOR hard rock metal on Polydor. Pretty sure they're Canadian. Came out in 1983, so quite an early release. How many albums they put out, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not that clued up on the band, but when I saw that for, I think it was 20 Swedish krona, something like that, might have been 200 Swedish krona, I can't quite remember. But yeah, their money is quite hard to understand in my opinion when you take it into the normal dollar. But yeah, very, very happy to have that. Did it come with an inner? I can't recall. No inner in that one. But as I said, on Polydor, so another one I'm very, very happy to now have in the collection. My first, obviously, from the band. And the next one, following the same sort of line, a little bit lighter. I consider this guy as heavy metal back in the day, but it's AOR melodic metal these days, melodic hard rock. As you guys know, I'm a massive fan of Europe, and I came across a copy of John Norum's debut solo album. I'm pretty sure it's his debut, Total Control. I believe this is the album he brought out after he left Europe, after the Final Countdown album. Very underrated guitarist in my opinion, and his sister was also a vocalist back in the day too. A little bit lighter than John Norum's music, but still cracking stuff, and I'm after a copy of her album as well. Yeah, good stuff. Nice clean copy. There's the back, and we have band shot or shots of him and some liner notes. This one came out in 1987, just after the Final Countdown, and here we have CBS Records. Oh, getting uncomfortable. Changed my room around a little bit, and the seat's on the opposite end of the room now, so I decided to sit on the floor. So yeah, John Norum. And I picked those all up from one shop, and then from another shop I picked up 3 more. Next one, thrash metal classic. We have Exodus, Impact is Imminent. Certainly not their best album, but still solid album in its own right. This was the second album we ever heard from Exodus. I believe the first one I heard was Fabulous Disaster, which is my favourite, but this is still a cracking album, and so very, very happy to have it on vinyl. I had the CD since about 96, I believe, and have an OG press of Impact is Imminent, superb. On the back we have a photo with the lyrics. Not sure why they put the lyrics on the back. I don't know why they just don't have an inner with the lyrics. I'm sure they could have much better art on the back. But yeah, cracking album. And said not their best, but I really do enjoy it. Takes me back to my youth on Standard Capitol Records. So yep, another album to add to the thrash metal collection and my Exodus collection. Where these pressings are from, I'm not 100% sure. I don't generally delve into that kind of thing, but yeah, fantastic condition too for its age, and yeah, very, very happy to have that. And then I picked up 2 albums I was so happy to find. Been out after both these albums since I discovered them, both on YouTube, maybe going back 5-6 years ago. First one being Joel, self-titled album, I'm pretty sure. When I saw this, I thought, heck yes, I've got to get that. I've been after it for a while. I was going to pick it up on Discogs, but it's quite expensive with the shipping. So I didn't pull the trigger, and so glad that I held off because I found a really clean copy for a really good price. Now, Joel is a German AOR melodic hard rock vocalist. This album came out on Wii back in 1989, so it's that typical late 80s hard rock. Fantastic stuff. She has a phenomenal voice. Completely unaware of her back in the day. I don't think she got all that big, but when I discovered on YouTube, I really enjoyed the album, so very, very happy to now own it. This one did come with an inner. Quite a grainy cover there. There's the back. And on the inside, we have the lyrics. Did come with a little bit of a stain there, but nothing to worry about. And a photo of you there. So yeah, very, very happy to own Joel. I think might have been one and done. Not 100% sure, but that's standard Wii. Logo there. Put that one away later. It's being a pain in the ass. And then this one here, this is an EP from another German band. The band is called Blitz. Do the Blitz is the name of the album. As I said, an EP. Now they are more heavy metal with some thrash metal elements in there as well. Really good stuff. Female fronted band out of Germany, as I said. Came out in 1990 on, I think it might be Steamhammer. Yes, Steamhammer. Gatefold. There's the lyrics and a band shot there. So yeah, came across these both in the same store, right beside one another. So yeah, I was having a field day when I saw these two. So I grabbed up both of those. Really good. Heavy metal with some thrash metal in there too, for good measure. And on your Steamhammer. This one is absolutely pristine. Not a single mark on it. Looks like it almost has never been played. A little bit of wear in the corner there, but other than that, album from 1990, it's in fabulous condition. Seem to look after the records over there from back in the day, like the Japanese. As I said, I'm not sure about what pressings these are, whether this is a Swedish or German pressing, but yeah, good stuff. Blitz and Do the Blitz. Then that's all I picked up out of Sweden. Now over to the UK. I didn't pick up anything in London, as I never had a chance to get to any record shops there, but we went to a place in Wakefield where I got my Alyssa tattoo, as I showed in my first video, from a great friend, Laurie. But yeah, afterwards I went around a couple of record stores, and I picked up 4 vinyl. First one being the English Jokesters thrash metal band. We have Acid Rain and Moshkinstein. I actually have never heard this EP. Of course, I've heard Acid Rain and I have their most recent album, but really looking forward to checking this one out. No, the newer album is a completely different sound to the earlier stuff. But there's back there, 6-track EP. Came out under One Flag also, M Flag 20 this one is. Really good condition. Under One Flag, got to give it a good bit of a clean, but apart from that, you have your typical thrash collage there. And this one only cost me £6, which is probably around about 12 New Zealand dollars, which I thought was a real steal, because I've actually seen copies of this in New Zealand before, and they were wanting 50 New Zealand dollars for it, plus postage. So yeah, very happy to have found that. Then I picked up, where is it? A vinyl 12-inch single of sorts. We have Wasp and Scream Until You Like It. Now this is off the Ghoulies horror soundtrack. As you see, some of the Ghoulies in the picture, if you can see it. Love the cover art, and then you have a band shot on the back. You have Scream Until You Like It, theme from Ghoulies 2 of course, and on side B you have Shoot From the Hip and Sleeping in the Fire acoustic version. So I had to grab this, and it only cost me £4, which I thought was an absolute bargain, because I've never ever seen this in my life. I didn't even know it existed. So yeah, very happy to have that. It didn't come with an inner, so the vinyl is very dusty and dirty, but there's no marks that I can see on it. So once it's a good clean, it should play really well, hopefully without any crackle. So there's another couple of things I picked up from this particular store in Wakefield that I won't be showing, as I've sent them out to other people. But yep, fantastic. And then I went to one more store. Just before I went back to where we were staying, came across a couple of albums, and in fact I came across quite a few. But some of the prices in this particular store were a bit more on the price-wise range. They had a whole box just dedicated to more obscure, high-priced OG metal presses, and I grabbed one out of the box because it was the cheapest. But yeah, it's an album I definitely wanted, and that is the debut album from Wasp, and I paid £20 for this one. But there was some other albums, Death Angel, Ultraviolence, and quite a few others, Nuclear Assault, Handle with Care, and a number of others in top condition, but they wanted top price for them. So I held off, plus I don't have the room in my suitcase anyway, but I had to grab this one as it's the last Wasp album I needed on vinyl that I actually wanted. And now I have everything up to the Crimson Idol on a vinyl, which is basically where I stopped with Wasp. Heard this album back in the day via my good friend, his brother. I used to sneak into his room, as I've said before, and play all his music and watch his videotapes, and Wasp just happened to be one of them. Saw the video for Animal Fuck Like a Beast and thought, hell yes, this is awesome, and loved their stage show, and yeah, I was quite in awe of the band. Thought they were quite evil, but there's the band shots there. Of course you have Blackie and Chris Holmes, but yep, stoked to have that, and really love that photograph, those photographs there of the boys, and more on the back. And then we have the Wasp vinyl on black. So yeah, had to grab that one. I actually did find this in another store in Sweden, but it wasn't in the greatest condition. They wanted about the same price for it, obviously it's Swedish krona. So I'm lucky I held off and I grabbed this copy, which is a lot cleaner. And the last one is a band I'd never heard of back in the day. Another German band, female fronted, and that is Zed Jago and Pilgrimage. Wasn't until I joined the VC once again that I saw people show this band. This one came out on RCA back in 1988. But yeah, really good hard rock, heavy metal from Zed Jago on your RCA Black, as I said, 1988, did I say? Yep, 1988. So yep, that's the two I picked up for that particular store. There were some other like 12-inch singles I could have also picked up. There were some Vixen ones and a few other bits and pieces, but I just grabbed the two from that shop. I couldn't grab too much either because the missus would pack a crap if I came back with too much stuff. So I've got two more vinyl to show. Now, after we'd been to Wakefield, we travelled up to Edinburgh in Scotland, where we'd organised a meet-up with the one and only Andy, self-proclaimed metal mogul. Had a fantastic time with Andy, talking about music, talking about life in general and the sights and scenery around Edinburgh. We went out to lunch with him, introduced him to my wife, and we had lunch at the Hard Rock Cafe there in Edinburgh. Yeah, really good meal, really good chat. And then after the meal, we went for a bit of a wander, and he led us up towards Edinburgh Castle. This happened to be the week of the month of the tattoo, so Edinburgh was absolutely jam-packed with people. So once we got to a certain point, Andy just let us go on our merry way. But it's fantastic to meet up with him, a lovely fella, and yeah, just like he is on YouTube. Yeah, really enjoyed our meet up, and him being the first VC member I've ever met was absolutely fantastic. He actually messaged me on Facebook asking where we were going, if we were going to Edinburgh, and we organised a time sort of to a day where we could meet up. So it's really, really nice of him to do that and want to catch up with me, little old me from New Zealand, and my wife. And yeah, had an absolute blast. But there's a shop that he used to go to, I'm not sure whether he still does very often anymore. He says they don't really carry so much good metal anymore. But it's a shop called Vinyl Villains there in Edinburgh. So I thought I'd better go and have a look. And of course, took a photo of the outside of the shop. And I actually found a couple of records. First one, now this guy, I was made familiar with this guy back in the day because he used to tour with Alice Cooper at one point. I'm pretty sure it was Alice Cooper. Pretty hard to mistake this guy, big muscle-bound guitarist. You might know who I'm talking about, but that is the one and only Kane Roberts. I was made aware of him via Hot Metal magazine, an Australian publication that I used to buy monthly with my small amount of pocket money. And yeah, but I actually never heard any of Kane Roberts stuff until YouTube actually came around, and the whole band is actually full of tough bodybuilder sorts. The only stink thing about Vinyl Villains, they put the price sticker on the actual jacket itself, and I'm scared to try and peel it off because I'll probably end up scratching it, so I'm going to leave that on. But I paid £9.99 for that, which I thought was a good deal. Really good condition. This one came out in 1987 on MCA Records, and standard black wax, of course, as they all were back in the day generally. Yeah, so yeah, very, very happy to have that. But I will say that he cleans the records super well. So you don't have to get them home and find that you've got a grubby record and have to clean it. So yeah, looking forward to putting this one on the turntable. Actually, I haven't listened to any of these yet on vinyl because I'm still going through all the other stuff I've picked up, all the new stuff, plus all the VCLTs I've received of late. But yeah, Kane Roberts, just self-titled, I believe. Yep. So yeah, great one. I'm glad to go there, and very, very happy to have this. I've loved this album since I was pretty young. But just never owned it, and you don't see this here in New Zealand. Even back in the day, I never saw this in the record shops. But that is Wrathchild America and Climbing the Walls. Always loved that album art. really good thrash metal, probably second tier thrash metal. Of course, you have typical thrash collage. You have lyrics. Came out on Atlantic in 1989. Super clean condition. There's the back, but of course the sticker is stuck to the jacket, which is a shame, but it is what it is. You don't play the jacket, as they say. But yeah, on Atlantic, super clean. So yeah, another album I'm so happy to have in my collection. So all in all, I picked up a lot of stuff when I was overseas, either OGs or brand new albums or reissues, a number of CDs as well. Had an absolute blast in our trip. Wacken was just what I expected it to be. Absolutely fantastic time. I was in my element with all those fellow metalheads, even though I don't speak German at all. Loved it, and I met so many cool people from all around the world. And then travelling to the UK, to Sweden, and then over to New York and up to Canada. Yeah, what else can I say? Fantastic trip. I will say that out of all the cities I went to, New York was my favourite. Always I've had a fascination since I was little with New York. All my favourite sports teams are from New York. Favourite movie of all time is based in New York, and yeah, I was just awestruck. I want to go back. I want to go back to all these places again. Love to go back to Wacken one day. Obviously not next year. Money is spent and it's sold out anyway. Sold out in 4 hours, I believe, 4 to 6 hours. But even if I don't go back to Wacken, I'd like to go to maybe Hellfest in France or Sweden Rock, or some of the couples I met in Germany for the festival. They're interested in going on a metal cruise. So you never know. Might meet up with them one day and we'll go on one of the cruises, metal cruises, which would be really fantastic. So yeah, that's my little update. Thanks for sticking by me. Had a wonderful trip. A lot of you guys have seen my photos and so forth that I've posted in videos on Facebook. So thanks for all the comments on that. And yeah, just for supporting me. I love doing this YouTube thing. Being a part of the VC has made me so happy, and I'm absolutely loving it. Been in the VC now since 2018, I think. So coming up on 5 years. So yeah, over 5 years now, and I'm still having a blast. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate you guys watching, commenting, and supporting my little channel down under in New Zealand. So coming up, I've got a lot more stuff that's been trickling in through the door, CDs, vinyl, a lot of brand new releases from this year, and I look forward to show them in future updates. So for now, have a great rest of your weekend. It's Sunday night over here. I have to go back to work tomorrow, a bit of a shame, but that is what it is, and life goes on. So I'll catch you guys very, very soon with another update or some kind of video. So bye for now.